Welcome, Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. I'm your host, Cletus Ray, Kevin Ray. Either way, you can have it your way, BK. I'm driving down the highway in my pickup truck right now, my 92 Silverado. I thought about riding the bike today, and you know what? Riding the bike would have been a really good idea because if there was ever a time I decided to start lane splitting or traffic filtering or whatever the fuck that is, today would be that day because I would have I'd be on the shoulder, just running up along the shoulder. But I'm a little behind already, and I already had shit in the truck. So instead of wasting all the time getting in the garage, getting the motorcycle ready up and going, and all the shit out of my truck and everything on my backpack, get my helmet on, get the music figured out, get everything ready to go. I was like, I'm just gonna hop in the fucking truck and go. Even though the bike is faster, sometimes, I guess, somehow, I don't know. I like the bike. I really do. I've never lane split on it. There's been a couple times where I've gone past a couple of cars on the shoulder to make a right hand corner. That's about all I've done. Um, so I don't know. I'm curious about it all. I've looked up the laws and stuff, and in Kansas, it specifically says lane filtering, lane splitting is illegal. I haven't seen that actual law, but just from my Chat GPT, I heard about it. In Missouri, it is not defined. So it's not saying it's illegal. It's not saying it's legal. It's not saying uh, the only thing it says is you're not allowed to pass, you know, exit your lane or whatever. So if you're lane splitting and your tires technically are still inside of your lane and you're passing cars that are also in that lane, you are not leaving your lane. I mean, if you want to get down to the technicalities, which I feel like a lot of times I don't like to get down to the technicals, but it seems like everybody else does. But then it's like if you get pulled over and they're like, you were going 43 in a 40, and it's like, well, I'm pretty sure I was doing like 40, but is 3 miles an hour going to kill me? They're like, sir, I'm just here to make money for the state. Pay me a fucking ticket. We're going to say you're doing 3 mile an hour over. Just pay up. What do you mean, man? It's only $87. Just pay up. I'm like, I went 3 miles an hour over, and now I have to pay you $87. That makes no fucking sense. My, most of, not most of, but a lot of the work that I've done today is going to pay for going 3 miles an hour over the speed limit. I don't know. I don't want to get into fucking getting bothered by tickets and their prices and shit. Anyway, other shit that I've done recently, well, I decided to do a fast. And so far, so good. I'm gonna, I don't know. I think talking about it so much and thinking about it too much is really gonna be difficult. I'm not really setting myself up for success here because I keep talking about how I'm doing a fast. I'm gonna go as long as I can. I will say, as of 30 minutes from now, it's 7 a.m. Um, it'll be 24 hours with no food, only water and coffee. But I'm cutting out coffee. So I'm cutting out all that shit. I'm gonna try to just do water with a little bit of salt, and that's actually what I have in my cup right here, right now. They said a pinch of salt. So I'm doing a pinch of salt. I don't know. I'm like I feel like I could get a pretty good pinch of salt, and I can also get not a very good pinch of salt. I don't know what the fuck a pinch of salt is, but it tastes salty, so I guess that's good. I don't want to overdo the salt. But I was asking ChatGPT all kinds of questions about this yesterday. I was like, all right, a pinch of salt, does it need to be in every single cut, like every single one, every single time I drink? That's all I'm doing today is drinking water. I gotta put salt in it every single time. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. Okay, my life is now fucking under the sea. I'm just a fucking crab boil going on now. I'm just a saltwater motherfucker. Just fucking eating salt water. Not eating anything else. Some BS. Oh, they got into a car accident. 3-car pile up. I shifted into fifth. I went from second to fifth. My truck did not like that. So I was gonna have the mechanic look at my truck yesterday, but I ended up not needing anything done to my truck because it still needs a tune-up, but I decided not to have him work on it because he said he's like, oh yeah, I'll get to it Tuesday night after work. And then I ended up coming back, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to sit around while you work on my truck because, shoot, I'm tired. I've got to go to karate. I got to go to karate, bud. I got to go over the karate class. My son is receiving his green belt, and I don't want to be here with you when he's doing that. So even though I thought I was going to miss it, I thought I wasn't going to be here at all, but now I am. So adios, motherfucker. Sorry, I'm not going to have you work on my truck. And he's like, oh, no problem. I don't think he wanted to work on it anyways. I'm pretty sure the mechanics, they just want to work on my pieces of shit. They're like, oh man, I can't. It would be an honor to work on your 1992 piece of shit Silverado. Please, will you let me work on it? And I'm like, not today, bitch. Try again tomorrow. Anyways, but I had karate, so I just ended up sitting around the shop. After I got to the shop, I did some other little bullshit, and then I went in and I did some training. Oh, I did a piss test. Wouldn't you know, I just got done doing a HAZ physical, which includes a piss test, which also was another piece of paper that had another piss test and a breath test to make sure I'm not drunk to that day. So 10 weeks from now, whenever I go do that job, they know he wasn't drunk back then. What are the chances he's drunk right now? I have doing the breath test, unless it's suspicious, like somebody suspicious of me drinking, and they're like, hey, you need to go do a breath test. I'll go do a breath test. That's the only time it makes sense. The only time. But they're like, hey, you got a random. You need to go do a breath test. It's like, okay. I mean, all right. What the fuck ever. I'll go do a breath test. It's so dumb. I don't know. And then but I also do piss tests and stuff. But it's just, the breath test is just shocking to me. They're like, yeah, you need to do a breath test. I'm like, hey, I don't want to take my dip out. I can leave my dip, my skull tobacco. I can leave my skull in while I piss. And now you want me to take it out. You want me to take $3 worth of skull out of my mouth to blow in that fucking thing to prove that I'm not drunk right now? You guys are fucking ridiculous, is what you are. This makes no fucking sense. Well, the client one, it was like a client checklist or client thing. And in order to be approved to go onto their property, I have to be sober today. Not tomorrow. not the day that I go work for them. Just today, for no fucking reason. It could be my day off. And I could have been drove to the clinic, and they're like, hey, you need to do a breath test. I'm like, hey, I'm not even on the clock today. Like, I'm not on the clock today. I Ubered here. They're like, oh, and you are, testing for alcohol. They're like, I know. I just picked up a case of beer across the street, and I'm drinking it in the parking lot, waiting for my Uber. I know it's illegal to drink in public, but, or is it? I don't know. There's taboo shit all over the place. But anyways, the point of the matter is, me being drunk or having alcohol in my system today, on my day off, has nothing to do with me going to work in 2 months, whenever that job arises, you know? Just so dumb. Anyways, went home. And, well, I did more trainings at the shop. I did a piss test. I was hoping to be sitting in there for a long-ass time, so I wouldn't have to come back to the shop, but they got me in and out pretty quickly. Took a piss test, and then I went back to the shop and got some, I don't know, online training shit done. I don't know, whatever. I keep getting emails saying, oh, this badge is expiring, this training needs to be done. So I just go there. I'm like, hey, tell me what I need to do. And they got it pretty streamlined. Just go to one website, and it's got all your trainings. And I gotta sit down, and I don't know. It's kind of dumb because I just did my Has Whopper, and now I'm doing another Has Whopper. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes asking questions at my job gets you into some positions you don't want to be in. There's other times where I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure I've done all of this shit like a couple of months ago, and they'll take it all away from you, and they'll be like, all right, go sweep the shop then. How about you go sweep the shop? It's like, oh, fuck. Never mind. I'll do these trainings. Because doing the trainings is nice. Because you just fucking sit there tapping through some slideshow thing, answering 10 questions at the end of it. But the thing says it's going to take 30 minutes, so you have to sit there for fucking 30 minutes before you can answer the questions and shit. So I don't know. So you just play on your phone and hang out, especially if there's more people doing trainings next to you. But anyways, I did a bunch of trainings yesterday. There was nobody hanging out with me. I just had to sit there by myself. And then I went home. My son got his green belt, which is amazing. Guys, I mean, I like his instructors and everything, but for some reason today, or not today, but yesterday, none of them could show up. He's got three different like main senseis that will show up and teach class, and awards night when they're supposed to be showing off everything that they've all learned. They don't show up. None of them show up. So it was up to the 13-year-old blue belt to run the class, and it did not go very well. I mean, I guess for me to be nice, I'm like, oh no, she did great. For me to be like, I invited my parents over here to watch, and I'm like, yeah, this is what $10 a month gets you. This is fucking insane right here. No, it's $10 a week for my son's karate. Because some of that shit's expensive, but we found one that's really not that expensive. But no, it's just like everything would have been a lot better if there was like these three kids weren't in the class. And I think those three kids, they're fucking insane, so they need to be in karate. But just for the awards night to run smooth, there's three kids that could not sit the fuck still. One chick, one not I don't want to say chick, but one girl, she's in the yellow belts with my son, and I don't know. Like I don't even know how she got there. She might have walked there. This girl is 6 years old, maybe. She, this, this other sensei that ended up showing up. I don't know. I got more on him in a little bit, but he showed up and he's like, "Hey, whose parents are that go to this thing?" And nobody raised their hand. I'm like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "No parents for this one." Okay. He just kind of walked off. I'm like, oh fuck. Like this poor girl. She's like, my mommy and daddy are here. Wah! Wah! Like I mean, she's been over there screaming the whole time, but now it's hysterical. She's screaming that her parents aren't there, and this instructor just came up and just announced to everybody, all the grandparents and parents that showed up to watch their kids receive a new belt, just announced to them that her parents are not here. Does anybody know where her parents? No, nobody knows where this girl's parents are. All right, so she's here. He's making it way worse for this girl. This girl is just hysterical, and I understand she's hysterical at this point, but before that, she was just fucking. She just can't keep her mouth shut and sit still, and that's okay. Some kids are like that, I guess. But my son, they said sit onza, which is like sit with your fists on your knees, cross-legged, and he didn't move. He was a fucking statue. His whole, other than that one yellow belt, the rest of the yellow belts, they all sat there. None of them got up. None of them ran around. None of them were sitting there talking to each other. They were all. I was amazed because there was even green belts and blue belts, red belts, or whatever the fuck other belts. And I mean, they weren't being obnoxious, but they weren't they weren't just sitting there. They were walking around talking and stuff. The yellow belts, I was so impressed by them because all four of them. There's only four of them. Well, there's five, but the fifth one was fucking hysterical the whole time. Four of them were very mindful of what was going on. Anyways, they did the fucking. They did. It's like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, which is correct. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, but the instructor that showed up that singled out this little girl for not having parents there. He was supposed to show up and run the award ceremony and stuff. He didn't do anything, guys. He said he made the girl cry, and then let the little young girl that doesn't know how to run things run the whole show, announcing everything to the parents, and then at the very end, right before they gave out the belts, he's like, and I've never seen this guy before. He's like. He's like, I have not taught any of these classes at this facility. I also do a totally different type of karate. It's called blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you right now. And then he just starts fucking doing all this fucking crazy fucking flipping and shit. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he just like bows and walks off at the end. And I'm like, all right, this fucking guy does absolutely fucking nothing and then is like, hey, I don't do what your kids do, and I've never taught any of your kids, but look what I could do. And then he just fucking does little flips and fucking shit running around. I'm like, cool, dude. Can you give my son my green belt so we can get the fuck out of here, dude? Let me get the fuck out of here. I'm like, we've been sitting here for 2.5 hours. It's been a while. Give us the belts. Let us go. Let's go. You gotta let us go, man. So yeah, I don't know. I was gonna make more fun of all the other shit that happened, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Once I learned the girl that was running the thing was a lot younger. Well, not a lot younger, but definitely younger than what I thought. Because I was like, this girl, she's been there for a while. She should know how to do some things. But I guess it is. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure with that whenever you got a bunch of people staring at you. So, anyways, she did a good job. I'm proud of her. I still think it was a funny, very funny situation. And my son got his green belt, so that's cool. Very excited about that. I'm like, hey, man, it was easy to move from white to yellow. I mean, I'm proud of you for it, but it's basically a given. And yellow to green is kind of the same thing. I mean, you do good. I'm really proud of you. I just want you to know that you will not be moving from green to a higher belt without some. You're gonna have to practice more. You're gonna have to practice even more. But he's happy. He's excited. He's even his little best friend that's in the class is going to the fall semester, so that's cool. My son starts school. My son and daughter, but they both start school next week. So that'll be really interesting. Anyways, I got some shit to take care of here, so I'm gonna talk to you all in a little bit. I gotta train a guy how to run a winch truck. Welcome back. You know what we did? We got a fucking frac tank picked up and delivered somewhere else. We did a really good job. I'm very, very happy with my performance today. Go ahead and give me a pat on the back next time you see me. Just whisper in my ear. Just say, hey, you're a good winch truck driver. You're a good frac tank hauler. Just say some nice things like that to me, and I don't know, I'll probably do whatever you want me to do. But hey, you know what? You are a really good winch truck driver. Can you come over and cut my grass? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Nope, not a problem. I'll be over there. You got a mower? I do, but it's out of gas. Can you just bring your own? Sure. I'll do anything. Give me a little bit of a compliment. It's going to go a long way, guys. I don't get a lot of compliments. Maybe I do. Probably not. I don't mow that many yards. Anyways, I am, whenever the frac tanks and the brakes actually hold on it, they'll work with the airline hooked up and everything. But sometimes whenever you take the airline off, these frac tanks, they just sit for a very long time at places. And the brakes don't really get serviced very well when they're sitting in the middle of a field. So it's kind of I didn't pick it up from the middle of a field, picked it up from an alley in Kansas City. But we got it pulled over here. I did have to take a one no truck route, and I had a city cop get behind me, and I'm like, oh fuck, because I called the guy. I'm like, hey, is there any no truck routes on the way? I see what the GPS is telling me to do, and I kind of feel like one of those might be a no truck route. He's like, it is. I'm like, okay. How do I get around it? He's like, no, don't go around it. You know, just drive it. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, that's how everybody else drives it. You know, it's a scrapyard over here, and he's like, yeah, everybody goes that way with all their semi trucks. I'm like, all right. And as soon as I get on that road, there's a really steep hill. So I'm in, I don't know, second, just, tractoring up the hill, just going up the hill. I mean, I'm making it just fine, but, doing well under the speed limit of 25. I'm doing probably 10. And I look in my rearview mirror, and city cop pulled out right as I started up that hill, pulled out and followed me all the way through town. I was like, please don't. Please don't pull me over and give me a no truck route ticket. This is not good. I promise. I was told, the place I'm going is off of this road. But anyways, I made it up here, and I dropped it when, the brakes worked really good. I guess I could, well, I don't know. There's people around, so I don't want to set up a camera and fucking do all that shit. But I really would like to do a frac tank winch operation video one of these days. I'm sure I'll get one at some point in time where I can. I'll be in the middle of nowhere and I can set up a little thing. But the brakes on this frac tank worked out really good. So whenever I went to go pick it up, the brakes were not set. I don't know. They just weren't set. And there is a little air tank on the back of those frac tanks that you can let the air out, and it will. They're reversed, I believe. I don't know. I've never had to do it. It says truck route this way. All right. Well, I guess I'll go this way. Okay. I did not see that sign saying truck route was this way, but this would be not fun to fucking come through here. Just try to snake around these fucking things here. I'm gonna have to look at my map real quick to see where the fuck I am. Oh, no. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going straight. Anyways, the brakes worked really good on it. They weren't set whenever I picked it up because I could winch. Whenever I was winching the frac tank up, I had to winch it sideways a little bit, and so I just picked it up a little bit up off the ground, and then I just drove forward and drove it like it was a trailer. It is a trailer, but I just drove it to straighten it up because you can't load them sideways. You have to be pretty much square in order to get all the risk of the frac tank sliding off of your truck, because these are greasy motherfucking fifth wheels and shit. So, because I need it to slide, but if it slides too much one direction, it's going to go off the side of the truck and potentially flip. I like to think that the floor of these frac tanks is way heavier than the tops, so it should be pretty level. I don't know, but anyways, having a frac tank slide off your truck is not a good deal. We did have one person. I heard about a guy dropping a frac tank. All right, I don't know if I'm going the right way. I don't know if I'm going the right way. All right, I guess I am going the right way. Yeah, I had a guy. The frac tank slid off the side, and it landed. It was on the tires of the truck. It didn't slide all the way off, luckily. But they had to bring in an excavator to kind of scoot it back to where it's supposed to be. And I guarantee you, the guy was not square with the frac tank. You know, loading and unloading these things, you need to be straight. Sorry about you. You got to be straight. It's not, you can't really, there's not much else you can do. You got to be straight. This is the truck route. This is the truck route. These power lines, I would have taken all these power lines out if I had a trailer on me right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Truck route that way. If I take out power lines on a truck route, like a labeled truck route, I'm keep on going. I got free copper, and somebody ain't got TiVo. Somebody's losing their fucking Chromecast or whatever the fuck is shit's going through these power lines. People out here probably still use landlines too, so that would be devastating. What else? No, so the brakes worked on it, so I can set the brakes. I know they at least work good for a little bit, so I don't know. As that frac tank sits out there for a while, the brakes might end up releasing, but it's sitting on the ground. It ain't going anywhere. Now it says no truck route again? What the fuck is going on here? Jesus, I should have just went on the fucking no truck route all the way back, because a cop followed me the whole way with a frac tank on me and didn't say anything. Me empty headed back. I probably should have gone that way. But I really don't want to risk getting a ticket. I'd rather go, I don't know, 10 minutes out of the way and not get a ticket. He knows we're around. Also, this truck, we had a guy blow a steer tire on this truck at 70 miles an hour. He blew a steer tire. That's like my fear. That's one of my biggest fears driving. Mechanical failure, at least, is the fucking. I mean, a wheel falling off is bad. Blowing a steer tire is also bad. If he blew a steer tire on a curve on 435, which is a highway out here. It's called a 435 loop. It goes all the way around Kansas City and surrounding cities and whatnot. But he had a frac tank on here, headed downhill into a curve, and blew his left steer tire, drug him, and the curve was going to the right. So it drug him to the left into the median, and luckily there was no cars next to him. There was no crash cable there. He was able to get on the brakes and get her shut down right there in the median. It was he showed me a picture. I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, not good. He's like, the hood's a little fucked up on that Peterbilt. It's like, all right. And there's a little blinker, one of the little blinkers that goes right in front of the driver door here. It's like, it might be an LED, I don't know, but it blew out. The whole panel's missing now, and there's tire slap marks all over the fender, and it's all, fiberglass is all shattered and shit. Mm-hmm. So anyways, luckily he why am I going to low side? I'm in an 8-speed. I could take off in 5th. I actually take off in low. There we go. Yeah, so the brakes worked, so I was able to freewheel the winch. Just basically, it pulls the pin out that helps that the motor is turning on or whatever. I don't know. You know what freewheel means. So I'm freewheeling the fucking winch here. And why is it telling me to turn here? I don't want to turn here. I want to keep going straight. I think. I'm going straight. Fuck you. Fuck your directions. I ain't turning that way. That takes you into the neighborhoods and shit. So I can freewheel the winch and I can just pop that fifth wheel, the jaws, and just pull out from underneath it, and that trailer's gonna stay still. And it stayed still all the way till the edge of the frac tank got to the roller on the back end of my truck. And then I turned on the PTO, let a little bit of cable out, made sure the pin was connected, and then just pulled forward a little bit more. It just crested over that fucking roller, and then I just put the PTO on back again and drop her down, bud. Dropped her down. She went on the ground, and then I stretched out my cable because people that use this just don't have a lot of common sense. It seems like. I don't know, man, because I've been in the other truck, the Kenworth, for a while. So somebody else has been running this truck all around. Obviously, that other guy was the last guy to use it, so I guess I could blame him. He's got common sense, which is odd, you know. It's like, why the fuck did you leave the winch cable bird nested like that? Like, it's like, as I'm winching it up, it's, you know, it's kind of getting rid of some slop and shit, and it's kind of putting extra stress on shit and on me, you know, while I'm winching that motherfucker up. So I ran the cable out. I just freewheeled it, drove out probably 20, 25 feet, and then turned the winch back on and winched it all in. And I'm steering to try to get the cable to wind up properly. And then, but I do appreciate a lot of guys will run that winch cable all the way up to the fucking barrel. And I'm like, hey, every time we're going to use this truck, we're going to need to use the winch. Why do you suck the cable all the way up there? Because the cable, it's kind of tough to yank it out. It's pretty, the barrel doesn't like to freewheel by hand very well. I gotta put all of my weight into it to get it to fucking spin. So I hook it at the back end of the truck. The cable is ran over the fifth wheel plate, and then I use the hook that we use to hook the frac tanks is hooked to the bumper of the truck, and then I winch it in just until I know it's not going to fall off and be dragging down the highway or whatever. So he left it like that, which I do appreciate. A lot of guys will run that fucking winch hook all the way up to the barrel, and I gotta yank on that motherfucker for fucking ever to get it, pulled out, I don't know, 12 feet to reach the bottom of the frac tank. Some frac tank places, they actually have stands that are made up, so whenever they pull in their lot or whatever, they just slide these stands underneath the frac tank, and then they just have to unhook, and then they just pull forward, and it just sits there, so they can hook up to it nice and easy. I've never had the luxury of using one of those stands before, so oh well, don't care. Be all right. But the guy was pretty impressed. He's like, "Dang, you did that really good." I'm like, "Do you need me to do anything for you? I'll do anything. You want me to? I don't know. I'll do anything for you. You just gave me a compliment." I'm like Dobby getting a sock in the fucking Wizard of Oz. Not the Wizard of Oz. The Harry Potter guy. He gave Dobby a sock, and then Dobby's like, "Oh, well, I love you forever. I am Dobby. I am Dobby." Operation Get a Medical Card is still in full effect. I know I talked about that in the first half of this podcast, um, and it's only 9:45 now. Like, this is also not good. Like, I'm too good at my job that now I'm gonna go back to the shop and have nothing to do. If I can sit there and do computer work, that's fine. I'll do that, I guess. I'll just sit around. Uh, I don't know. Maybe they'll need something else done. But it's looking like I'm going to get an 8-hour day today, which is not convenient for me at all. I need to get hours. But Operation Get a Medical Card is still in full effect. I have not eaten anything yet. This morning, I think I talked about it, but this morning I had a cup of water with a little bit of salt in it. And then right now I have another bottle of water I've been working on. I didn't want to bring my whole cooler with me because I knew this wasn't going to be a super long job. And if I get thirsty or feel like I need to have more drink or something, I can stop and get some. Um, I pass up a lot of gas stations and shit. But yeah, I called my sister because I know she's done little health kicks here and there. So I called her up. I'm like, hey, what do you think about fasting? She's like, it's good. Intermediate fasting is awesome. I'm like, all right, well, what about like how long can you go? And she's like, go for like 10 hours. I'm like, 10 hours doesn't seem like anything. I feel like I don't do that, especially right now, but 10 hours does not seem like a challenge whatsoever. I don't think that's going to, I mean, for some people, maybe. And if I start eating right, yeah, maybe. But I'm like, I'm going for the long shot here. She's like, how long? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I mean, I'm obviously gonna eat if I really think I need it, I'm gonna eat. But I don't know. I don't want to assume I'm gonna be able to do what it is I want to do, but let me just throw this out there. I'm thinking if I make it to the weekend, that's shorter than what I wanted to say. I wanted to say 7 days. But if I make it to this weekend, and it's Wednesday today, if I can make it to Saturday morning and eat like a healthy breakfast, bacon and eggs, uh, with lots of butter. And some people might look at me and say, that ain't healthy. Bacon ain't healthy. Butter ain't healthy. It is, actually. From what I've looked at, it is. So, and that's part of the carnivore deal. You can do all those things on carnivore. Now, like I said, I'm not necessarily doing the carnivore diet. Um, but if I'm not doing bread, I'm not doing sugar. I'm gonna try to eat the good shit you're supposed to eat. Got another trooper sitting over here, just waiting on somebody to be speeding. Give him a little head nod. Drive on by. Sometimes they get a wave. Today I felt like a head nod was it. Um, yeah, I don't know. She thought I was insane for saying anything more than like a day. So, but I don't know. I did use Chat GPT to kind of work some things out and try to answer some of my questions. But I've got also, I didn't just come into Chat GPT with no information and say, hey, I want to do this. I already know that it is possible for people to fast for a long time. especially if you're real fat. If you're real fatty fuck like me, you can fast for a long time. You're not going to be starving anytime soon. But I don't know. Fasting will also burn or take away muscle mass also, because you're not supposed to do like a bunch of working out. You're not supposed to really exert yourself while doing fasting, because you don't have. I don't know. That's what they said. So I'm just gonna try to make it to the weekend. But if I don't make it, hey, no hard feelings there. I've done 24 hours. I'll just eat and then do another 24 hours, maybe. I don't know. Um, Having a schedule would be kind of nice, but my schedule doesn't really. I guess if I bring my lunch, I can run my schedule a little bit better. But um, gotta lose some weight, man. Gotta lose some weight. Gotta get that medical card. Gotta get that 2-year medical card. No sleep study. And so for some of the other people out there that might not be involved with trucking and medical cards and all that other bullshit, from what I understand, and I am also not an expert, even though I should be, but you go in to the doctor's office to get a DOT medical card. They check all of your shit. They feel your ball sack, everything. They do a regular old physical on you. And then they say, okay, well, based on the measurement of your neck. So whenever you go in and you get a medical card, you want to stretch your neck out as far as you fucking can. You want to suck in. You want them to get the smallest amount possible on your goddamn neck. And but it's also based on body weight also. And this fucking doctor that doesn't give a fuck about anything. Usually these urgent cares, they care a little bit, I guess, but you're fucking cattle when you go in there. You're just trying to get cheap health care, or your company's sending you here, and the company's going to pay no matter fucking what. So they're just bringing you in, and they're like, yep, you're a little fat, you're a little porky, your neck is a little too thick, you need to get a sleep study done. Here's a 30-day or 60-day medical card. And you're like, oh, okay, so my medical card is good for another 30 or 60 days or whatever it may be. But you got to go get a sleep study. And I did try this one time. They said, you need to get a sleep study. So I said, okay, what do I do? They're like, go to your primary care physician and tell them that you need, just tell them what's going on. So I did. I didn't have a primary care, so I just found a guy, that was accepting patients or whatever. Went in there, sat with the nurse, and I said, hey, really, I'm only here because I need to go do a sleep study. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, let me back up a little bit. I called a sleep study place. I said, hey, I'm trying to get my medical card. The doctor said I need to go here. They're like, well, we didn't receive a recommendation. I'm like, well, they clearly are recommending it, so let's get this fucking thing going. They're like, that's not how the world works, honey. You need to go to your primary care. So I go to my primary care, say, I'm here, I need a sleep study. Like, okay, yeah, we'll get that recommendation for you. And then they want to check me out and do all this other bullshit. I'm like, hey, stop fucking touching me. I've already been touched. They said I need a sleep study. Give me the sleep study, give me the recommendation, and let me the fuck out of here. So I wasn't, like, they were asking me questions, and I'm just, like, not answering them, or just they're like, do you ever have pain in your kneecap? Or, no. Yes, I've had pain in my kneecap before. Have you ever smoked tobacco before? Yes, I've smoked. Hey, I know you're trying to just do your job and get your checklist done, but I'm going to answer no to everything. I need a sleep study. Please, just give me a fucking sleep study recommendation. That's the only fucking reason I'm here. Okay. So I leave there. I wait like a week. And then I called them back, and I'm like, hey, I haven't received the recommendation yet. Oh, yeah, the doctor will get it to you soon. Okay. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I called up a couple other trucker buddies that I have, and they're like, hey, there's this chiropractor down there. That's where I always go. She does a good job, and I've always gotten a 2-year medical card from her. I'm like, okay. So I go set up an appointment with this chiropractor. She brings me in, and she checks me out. She's a holistic doctor kind of shit. I don't know. She's fucking spiritual. She's like rubs some sunflowers in your eyes. I don't know. Some fucking bullshit. Um, and then she checked me out, and she's like, your blood pressure is a little bit high. I'm gonna turn the lights off and let you rest, and I'll be back. And I was like, whoa, this lady wants to give me a good medical card. She's gonna let me relax because I've been up walking around, getting my knees fucking hammered on, uh, doing all kinds of fucking bullshit. She's like, just relax, and try to, you know, do box breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe in. Just do that, and it'll relax your body, and it'll bring your blood pressure down. So I can write down, because I got to write down whatever it says. I'm like, I understand. So I did that, and then she came out, and she gave me a 2-year card. She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, the other place, they were trying to get me to do a sleep study and shit. She's like, every single person that has a CDL needs to have a sleep study done, and they all have fucking, what's it called? Sleep apnea. So, yeah, they're bullshit. It's a way for the more doctors to get more money out of people. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that to you. She's like, now if I really thought you needed it, I would give it to you, but I think you're fine. I'm like, wonderful. So I've been going to this lady for a few times, gone there a couple of times, gotten my medical card. But I'm fat, guys. So I want to be able to actually get my medical card and lower my blood pressure, get the weight off of me, get my neck skinnier, and I will be happier and healthier in the end. I'm not just doing this to get a medical card, but that is my goal. But I've got goals after that. My son calling me chubby. He's nice about it, but I'm racing a train right now. He was nice about it, but he did. He's like, Daddy, I want you to have not so much chunk on your belly. And I'm like, oh, buddy. All right, I'll try my best. And then I've been ignoring that, because I've been eating fucking pizzas and cheeseburgers and all kinds of fucking bullshit. And I feel like I've been, ignoring probably one of the people that mean the most in my life whatsoever. He does. My kids mean more to me than anything. So, and if my son doesn't want a fat dad to watch him at karate, I need to do something and become not a fat dad. So, anyways, that's where we're at. Gonna lose weight, but yeah, going to the regular old urgent care place. Well, so yeah, it was right in between jobs. So I went and I got my 2-year card from the chiropractor lady. I got a new job, and they were like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We have to send you in for a physical. I don't care if you have a brand new medical card. We want it done at this facility, paid for by us, so we can get the data and all that shit. I don't know. So I went to that doctor's office, and I had to get another DOT physical done. And it was the same fucking doctor that gave me a 3-month card or 30-day card or whatever it was. The same fucking doctor that gave me said, you're too fat, you need a sleep study and all this other bullshit. Just a month and a half later, after I already had a good 2-year card, he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're good," and he gave me a 2-year card. I'm like, "Hey, I look and feel exactly the same as last time I was in here. You are biased in some way, shape, or form, because I don't know if it depends on the company that's coming in here and having this thing done, or what, but you gave me I didn't say anything to him. I just accepted my 2-year card, and I think that's the one I ended up using because it had, another month added on to it. But I'm like, I can't trust you whatso fucking ever. You just told me I was too fat, got to do all this bullshit. I got a doctor's bill I got to pay for now. You're trying to send me for a sleep study. Uh, and then I come back in, wearing a different mustache, and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're good." I don't understand that at all. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? And then the worst part about all of that was about 2.5 months later, I get a letter sent to my house, and it's a recommendation for a sleep study. What? Listen, I would have had no medical card and lost my license by now. You're just now getting around to getting me my fucking medical card? You fucking hose. You fucking bullshit. I'm paying you a doctor's bill for a sleep study that I need, and I told you I needed it as soon as possible, and you waited, like 3 months or more, and then finally send me my sleep study recommendation. Fuck you. I'm never coming to your shit again. I'm gonna pay this one fucking bill, and then I'm never fucking with you ever again. I don't know. It's just like, I'm going to my chiropractor, and I trust her more than anybody else, and she fucking believes in sucking the juice out of beetles to cure Alzheimer's or some shit. I don't know. She's got some weird shit going on. I trust her more than you fucking actual doctors and lab coats and whatnot. This chiropractor lady, she's way better than these fucking fuckheads. They just want your goddamn money. Anyways, my wife wants to set me up to go to a doctor's visit, and I'm like, I just did a has physical, and I passed that. My vision, my hearing, my breathing, my reflexes. They listened to my heart. They said everything is good. For the has physical. Now DOT physical, they'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, you're not good." Yeah, that's the funny thing. Because I went to one doctor, a different primary care, and that's when I was trying to get. I was basically just trying to go get omeprazole as an actual uh, pharmacy drug. I had to go to the pharmacy to pick it up because I'd get more of them and it'd be way cheaper. It's not that expensive, but I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll go do that. And where was I going with this? I went to that doctor, and oh yeah, he gave me a full physical and everything, and I was optimistic with him. And then I was like, hey, I'm a truck driver. Can you just go ahead and give me a DOT physical? He's like, I don't do that. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't do that. I'm like, well, then you're fucking no good to me. How hard is it to do a DOT physical? It's the same exact fucking thing you just did. I know you don't have like the credentials to do that, but all right, well, you just lost a patient. Patient didn't die, but I'm not coming back to you. It's like, why? I'm not gonna go pay a bunch of fucking different doctors and go see everybody so everybody can just extract money from my pocket. And yeah, I got that omeprazole medicine. I was able to go to the pharmacy and get it, and then it expired. it only had like 2 refills on it. And so I called him up. I'm like, hey, can I get more of this? He's like, you'd have to come see me. No, no. I could buy omeprazole off of the shelf at Sam's Club for an entire year and still have more money in my pocket than paying you a fucking doctor's bill. The fuck are you talking about, man? I mean, I have health insurance, but I don't know. It's just, I'm fine. I feel fine. Even though I haven't eaten for 20, almost 30 hours. So, nah, fuck you doctors and shit. Done with your asses. If I chop off my leg, I'll come see the emergency physicians. Shit. Other than that, I think I'm all right. Unless I have something really going wrong. Went to a dermatologist. I'm really getting into all my medical history here, aren't I? Went to a dermatologist because I had a couple of moles on my body, and I had somebody close to me have a bad mole. So I said, all right, well, I better go get my moles checked out. And so I went to the dermatologist, and they just like numb you, and then they just razor blade your fucking moles off. And then they put a Band-Aid on you, and then you bleed through. I had a mole right in the middle of my belly, and you just bleed into your shirts right in the center. I had a couple on my back and one on my belly, and I had them all removed. Even though they said, they were like, oh yeah, these don't look like anything, but aesthetically, if you want them removed, we can do that. It looks way fucking worse now. At least before, it looked like I had a fucking nose. To my nipples were the eyeballs, and I had a little nose, and then my belly button was the fucking mouth. It was kind of funny looking. Now it looks like a Michael Jackson nose. It's all fucked up. It's bumpy. And the mole is starting to come back. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. They fucked my shit up. The one on my back is even bigger now, because I didn't even really notice it that much before. But now I have a giant bump on my back, and it's a little itchy sometimes. Maybe I should go back to the dermatologist and say, hey, what the fuck, guys? But I don't want to get, if they weren't worried about them at all anyways, and they removed them, I don't know. Maybe if they're coming back, that could be a bad sign, I guess. But I don't know. I don't want to go back. I don't want you slicing parts of my body off. I don't want you filleting my belly anymore. Whatever. Fuck it. Fuck it. You only live once. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, just having a nice old day today. Headed back to the shop. I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I feel like I could definitely go longer without eating. I want to make it towards the weekend. I definitely could stop up here at this truck stop and go in and eat something. I could grab a bag of chips and fucking devour that and be perfectly happy, but I really need to start making a change. So I need to focus on not doing that. Not doing that at all. Don't eat food. Don't need it. Burn the fat you already got. Anyways, I think that's good enough for today's episode. I think I've been going on for quite a while, so I'm going to get out of your ear. Please have a great day. Keep all 18 down. Adios. We'll talk to you later.